Okay, so the first type of jet engine that we're going to be looking at is the turbojet. This is the most basic jet engine that's used en masse. It was first built on April 12th, 1937, and tested at about the same time. It was first flown on August 27th, 1939 after further tests. They're most efficient at relatively high speeds, so a little bit under the speed of sound and a little bit over twice the speed of sound is where they operate the best at. This is a very general speed range because there's very many types of turbojet engines. But that essentially for that type of design, that's what they're best at. Some of their cons: they have very poor heat management. Turbojet engines heat up very quickly and not in the good way. They will overheat. However, it takes them time to also spool up. This meaning that if you're on the ground and you're doing cold start, as in your blades aren't spinning and your engine isn't on, it might take you quite some time before you can start producing enough thrust to move your aircraft at enough speed to get any form of lift or aileron controls. So long spool time, that's a big issue. They however are relatively simple in their construction. Not in the sense that they're not complicated, but comparatively. One of their benefits actually is they have a very narrow profile, meaning that you can stick them in a very narrow aircraft. So, for example, this Hawker Hunter is a very narrow, streamlined aircraft, and you could fit a relatively large turbojet engine. You wouldn't really be able to fit a turbofan engine of a similar size. It would be larger than the fuselage itself. Okay, so we're going to start this aircraft up. Notice the plume of smoke. So turbojets don't fully burn their fuel because, remember, they're operating at a lower temperature. So we're going to apply that low spool time. So we're going to see that in action here. So it takes a little while for them to get full power. So this is a fighter, which is loaded with minimum fuel. So you would expect it to take off relatively quickly. That is not the case, as it's equipped with a relatively early turbojet engine. So I'm going to need most of this runway to get this plane off the ground. Okay, and then flaps in somewhat. And there you go. So that was about 2/3 of that entire runway, and that is a 7,500 foot runway. And this is a fighter. So that might give you some idea of exactly some of the issues with turbojets.